Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 5th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which is near recent range highs, also near the old February resistance on the way down towards 6,000. Obviously, we're looking for an end-of-day close above that magic number. And while we're above the 5850 zone, which is recent support, looking for a retest of the best levels up towards 6150 for the year, and then best case 6320 by the end of next month. Hopefully a bit sooner than that if we can actually get through the mental block of actually getting to new highs, even with all the tariff uncertainty that we still have. Moving along to the Nasdaq, and here the picture is that of a market which is pushing on ahead, slightly better in relative terms than the S&P 21,500. The initial May support, we're above that, and while we're above that, looking for the best levels of February up towards 22,200, and obviously the top of that 1 year broadening triangle 22,900, but just under 23,000. Support at the moment should come in towards, or at least above the 21,100 level, recent swing low for this market. Moving on to the stocks, and a firm favorite at the moment is Applied Digital, and here you can see why. We had an initial target there at $9.90. Above that, we're looking for a fresh leg to the upside, having conquered even that spike that we had back in February, as high as a June or 1 year resistance line projection, $15.50, hopefully over coming days. Any dips towards the old resistance there from November around the $11.30 mark, currently regarded as dips to be bought into. Another repeat situation, which is normally good news, is Annovis, and here you can see that we've got this saucer-shaped reversal, which is obviously looking very strong indeed. It's been in the making since February, or March at least, and recent neckline resistance around $2.60, broken above that, looking for the top of that rising trend channel base as high as $5.80. Maybe by the end of this month. There's a gap to fill up to $4.80 from back in February initially, but this does look very strong indeed. Another near-term repeat is coming up at the coming up next, and it's coming up in the form of Baosheng, and here you can see that we had a target there towards the top of that falling trend channel that was previously around $3.15, but we managed to gap through that, and even though we fell back during the session, while we're above that $3.20 area, still looking for further progress, probably towards the $5 areas. That's been sort of intraday spike zone for the shares, and hoping that that will be resolved over the next week or two. But the key message here is above 320. We are looking at a potential turnaround. That was also foretold by the multiple bounces for the RSI at and above neutral 50 ahead of the gap to the upside. DDC is next, and here another beauty really in the near term. We've had the first target broken at $6, second one broken at $9, and now looking fearlessly for a new leg to the upside as high as $16.50, and looking for that by the end of this month or even sooner. Great turnaround there on that one. Next on the list is K-Wave, and here not much to go on except the idea that we will find support at the old resistance on the way down, which was towards $4.19. Above that, looking for a retest of yesterday's resistance through $6 in the first instance. Stock which is not so familiar is coming up next, and it takes the form of Lyell. Here you can see that it was a rather good day yesterday for the shares, bouncing hard off that uptrend line, support line projection there. And with the shares above recent resistance at $10.30, we're looking for the top of that rising channel there, $20.50, hopefully by the end of this month. The way things are going, obviously, it might be a bit sooner than that. Ideally, we stay on the right side of that 1250 area, as that was resistance on the way down. Moving along to another frequent flyer here, and it comes in the form of Livewire, which is certainly living up to its name. We've broken the first resistance, the first target, which was rather ambitious, but looking for the second one now around $6.50, hopefully in the next few sessions. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $5, as that was resistance on the way down back in the beginning of the year, and also of late in the last week or so. Moving along to a new name, Limminatus, and here you can see that we've got the potential of the shares hitting that resistance line projection target. I suppose we've been in a triangle formation over the recent past. Top of the triangle there, heading for $14.60. Hopefully we can get that in coming days, and then maybe even retest the best levels, $16.44 from the beginning of last month over the near term as well. On to start with a short epic code or ticker code. We've got Nano Labs, and here rising trend channel base formation at $9, the top of the channel there, and we're looking for that while we're above the April resistance around the $5.50 mark. Moving on to the last two. The first one is Top Ships, and at the moment we've broken through the old initial 2025 resistance zone, $7.30. Above that, looking for a retest of the spike high that we had yesterday through $11.50, hopefully by the end of this month. Finishing off with a stock which was quite familiar previously, but went slightly dark over the near term, but still we've got VivoPower bouncing off the floor of that rising trend channel there from back in February, also bouncing above the 50-day line, which tends to be continuation signal anyway. $10 the target there for the end of this month, while we're above yesterday's support zone around the $5.20 level. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.